Hello, everybody. It's Friday. Friday. Oh, that used to mean so much that you could just put away the week and have fun on the weekends. I don't know what it means today. But what I want to explain to you, I've had some people ask me about shamanism. And that's a whole lecture and a whole course and a bunch of information. But what I will tell you about it is that it is a Siberian word that came from the Tungus tribe in Siberia that means one who sees in the dark. Now, used to, people you say a shaman and they think of somebody who's smoking peyote or using ayahuasca or doing some sort of plant medicine, and also maybe an old man with wild hair wearing a diaper. Maybe that's true in indigenous cultures. It's changing, and the ability to communicate with nature and with other realms, the invisible realm, has never been more available to us than now. So I've told you before, I stumbled onto learning about it and studying it because I'm a perpetual student. And what I learned at first, my Western mind was in the way. I kept thinking, what am I talking about? What am I doing? I'm making this thing up. But I wanted to share that one tool that people who work with shamans, well, let me back up. When Michael Harner, who founded the Foundation for Shamanic Studies in San Francisco, hi Molly, he was an anthropologist, and he went, hey Susan, he went to study indigenous cultures, and what he found was that even though they couldn't communicate with one another, there was a commonality in their practices. And the tribe had to really depend on them, because if they were wrong, then the tribe could die out. So he came back to the West, and he brought with him these common techniques or common practices that these various shamans would use. And he called it core shamanism. And he began teaching people how to do some of these practices. The number one was a shamanic journey. And that is a form or a practice that you can go in from ordinary reality into non-ordinary reality and communicate with various beings in non-ordinary reality. And you can do it without the use of drugs. A lot of people do use drugs to do it. I choose not to, and I teach my students not to, because of some are in recovery, but also I don't believe you have to have an intercessor to get to talk with spirit or the divine. So we use percussion, drums, rattles, hands, feet, and it's a form of meditation that you go into the lower world, middle world, upper world, and you're guided initially till you learn how to practice and do this. And you can communicate. You see who has shown up and why they volunteered to come and help you. And then what are they trying to teach you or help you? Are they trying to give you their traits? Do they want to guide you? They have volunteered. They're pure spirit and pure light. So at first you think, well, I'm making this thing up. But if you'll remember, as a child, shape-shifting was no big deal. You'd lie on your back, you'd look at the clouds with your friends, and you'd say, oh, I see a deer, oh, I see an animal, oh, I see a this or that. And so the clouds would change shapes, and it was easy for you to see. Then somebody told you to stop messing around and put away childish things, and you did. Well, you can still communicate. And I've told you before, you can go to my website and see my blog talking about how I was told exactly what to wear and how to get myself through chemotherapy. And I did. I did exactly as the White Oleander told me to do. So I'm standing in front of a lot of my helping spirits here. One of the first that came to me was Coyote. And Coyote is a trickster. And I was on my way to see my teacher in Topanga when I noticed two coyotes went across the road in front of me. And then as she was working with me, something was troubling her, and she would look and she'd think, something's wrong. And of course, I didn't know what was going on because I was there to learn. I had no idea. And she said, well, something's wrong. And she'd shuffle the cards again, and she'd sit there for a minute. And then she heard Coyote start laughing. And she said, now I understand. Coyote's here to play tricks with us. And I said, oh, by the way, there were two that came across my path. And she said, okay, now that's confirmation. So as long as we acknowledged the coyote, we were able to get down to work. So doing a shamanic journey is a meditative journey. I can't think of another word. And it's done with percussion. And one of the things that I'm going to do this afternoon when I finish talking with you is I'm going to go on a journey and seek some guidance for some things that I have need some input. And I don't know who's going to end up showing up. Some of my favorite ones that I trust, but it's another form to ask the divine, the Holy Spirit, the God of your understanding, the Great Spirit, the oneness, to work with you on a different level. We're taught in Western culture to pray all the time, but various times we don't listen. And so this, for me, was a wonderful way to not only be in nature, which is what I got from my dad, but also to trust in the synchronicity and in the that there is an invisible that is paying attention and wanting to help. I was doing a private session with someone the other day to teach them how to do this, and I have I have several different chimes, and so I used this one to kind of clear the air. Okay. So when I used that at the beginning of our session, she said, I have that very same thing, and I chose that to use. So the synchronicity, I'd never met her before, she'd never met me. The synchronicity of using the same chime told both of us that we were supposed to meet, we were definitely should be doing this together, and that we had worked together. Now, when I taught her how to do this, many different spirit guides showed up. So what? So what's the point? How can that help? Well, first of all, it is a spiritual practice that you end up doing, can do it on a daily basis, a weekly basis. You are opening yourself to guidance from the divine. And I can teach you how to not be scared about all that. Can't cram that all into this session. But you can get information. Questions can be answered. Direction, explanations can come forward. Let's say, this is the most exciting thing to me, that if, let's say you were doing a journey and an eagle showed up, and you had a question, you always have an intention, and a question, you pose the question to the eagle, and the eagle might say, here's the answer, or it might say, here, get on my back and let me show you the answer. Or, you might say, are you one of my helping spirits, and what are you here to teach me? I don't really know what I'm doing, but what are you here to teach me? And the eagle might say, yes, I'm one of your helping spirits, and I want you to continue to journey back to me so we can get to know one another and just hang out and learn how I can help you and how I can be your friend. You know, if you met somebody new and you liked them, you would do something to cultivate that relationship. So that's what the eagle might have been asking you to do. Cultivate the relationship, and I'm here to help you. Okay, so after the journey's over, and we might have talked about that, you might have thought, wasn't that nice, and how weird was that? But then you're driving home, you're at a stoplight, and you look to your left, and here is a United States Postal Service truck. So what? But you look on it, and here's an eagle. Now, not an eagle the way you thought it would be, like the eagle you saw, or a great soaring eagle. But here was confirmation in the physical world that what you experienced was not made up. It wasn't just your Western mind tricking you, that maybe there is, in fact, a thin veil between the worlds, and that we can meet and get help from those who've crossed before, and also every being that has light. Now, maybe if we could be in harmony and communicate with the elements which are in the middle world, fire, air, water, earth. Maybe if we could begin to develop a relationship as a species with these four elements, maybe they wouldn't have to slap us in the face every time to get our attention. Maybe we could learn how to work with one another, and we wouldn't have to have the floods that we do, or the viruses that we do, or the forest fires that we do, the hurricanes and the tornadoes that get our attention. I love to, I don't know, maybe it just takes me away from reality, but I love to know that the whole universe and all beings are here to help me and to lead me and give me guidance. And if you're interested at all in any of this, you can contact me and I can help you, let you know what I'm doing, individual sessions or any group sessions that I'm doing that teaches people how to go on this journey. I hope you're having a good day. I hope this weekend is one of rest, relaxation. Oh, I see my shaman sister Elena is on here. Hi, girl. She and I were in the first, she's over here in this picture right here. I'm standing in front of it. She's in this picture. Okay, Elena, I'm going to show. Here you are. Here we were. And we met many years ago and sat next to one another. And after we'd do a journey, we'd look at one another, we'd say, are we making this shit up? No, the answer is no, we were not. We gradually began to really trust it. And today she and I both use the shamanic journey as a way to connect with the divine and other beings. And I have courses on tap and groups on tap to teach you how to do this individually or in a group, small groups, not huge groups. So if you're interested at all, you can write it in the comments. You can message me, text me, email me, and we can set up a time where I can teach you how you too can go in and find all the beings that are ready to help you on your journey. Hope you have a nice weekend. Hope it's sunny where you are. And I love you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Bye.